Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a different kind of video today. I wanted to show you how I organize my dimensions kits, my gold collection ones, or any of the dimensions really. This one in particular I just ordered. I'm actually at my aunt's house today. It's Sunday, and I was supposed to go to a Christmas musical type thing with her, my mom, and my uncle and my aunt, or my other aunt, and I did not feel good. I've been sick for the past week and a half, and this morning I woke up and I think the whole cold that I had has gone to my sinuses. So if I sound kind of nasally, anyway, I've just had a really bad headache, and I finally took some allergy medicine that she found and gave to me, and I felt a little bit better, but I just didn't want to do that. So they all got dressed up and went, and I stayed here at her house up in the bedroom where I am hanging out, and I kind of kitted up this project that I'd gotten in the mail last week right before I came to visit. So this is a Dimensions gold from the gold collection. This particular pattern is called hey, you can see my reflection, Peonies and Canterbury Bells. The design is by Albert Williams, and in this kit it is on, and these, if you get a Dimensions kit, and you'll see my reflection in here. Hi. So just ignore me because I look terrible. But if it has a sticker on it like this, then it comes with a thread organizer. And that's the way that I guess, kits, when they're being reprinted in China, I believe, they come with the thread organizers. If they were made in the US, it may be an older kit. You have to sort out the floss yourself. It comes like in a big bundle. I don't have one to show you, and that is a lot more time consuming. But either way, I don't keep them on the organizers myself, or, of course, in the bundles, I don't. I have discovered a way that I organize them that works for me while, I'm stitching on these patterns. So, the directions that I'm going to be going by today that came with this kit are, they list the colors in bundles, and I think it's because it just reprinted one of the original kits, and it was going by the bundles, and because even has like a color of yarn included on here that I guess tied the bundles together, or how you could distinguish them. But since they're on organizers, you just have to ignore that part, I guess. So this is what the organizers look like. They, have the colors, and they have the, I'm sorry, that one's upside down. The number of the floss and the amount of strands that you need, or you have on there. And they are stuck in here, kind of glued in here with some sort of like sticky glue. So if there's a lot of them, I usually just cut them out. If there's a smaller amount, I usually just pull them out. And on the very ends of the floss, let me try to show you, there is that's like the glue that is attached. So I cut that off because you can't pull those threads apart if that sticky stuff is still on there. So be sure to cut that off. Okay. And also, so you have all the colors on here. So that's how many colors were in here. That many. Also, these ones that haven't been pulled off, they have more, that they're bundled separately because this pattern uses a lot of that color, and what they'll usually come like this. Okay, so if one of those colors just has one strand, it's usually It usually means either that color is just not used very much, or to look for that color in a big group of floss because it uses it a lot. And in this particular pattern, I have like 3 bundles of floss of different colors. Okay. All right. So what I do in this pattern, it lists 4 bundles, but I mean, so there's, you know, I don't even know how many colors. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Maybe, there's a list on here, 40 colors maybe. I mean, you know, and so because it's listed that way, not every pattern has bundles. Some of them may have like 2 bundles. Some of them may not even list them as bundles. And I think that's just so you could sort them out if they come unsorted. I think that's really what that's for. But for me, I pay attention to that because it helps me find where I'm looking back on the pattern. I mean, on the instructions, it helps me find that color because some colors use full cross and half cross. So I have to keep referring back to my instructions, if that makes any sense at all. Once you look at the directions, you will get it, and it tells you how many strands you're supposed to be using, and are you supposed to be stitching the cross stitch or the half cross stitch. There also is a back stitch, couching, which I've actually never done before, and French knots in this pattern. Usually most of the patterns from the gold dimensions have at least the cross stitch and the half cross stitch. But I can't separate all of them. I'm not going to separate the color and then separate it again in between half stitch and full cross. I'm just, that'd be too much. So I just separate the colors. And so this is what I do. Okay, well, first of all, I ordered these cards. These cards come from Amazon, and they're called like craft gift cards. And like a package of 100 of them is like $5.99 on Amazon. And they serve as floss drops for me. I also have a hole punch, which is, what is this one? I'm not even sure what size this is. I thought I knew. I think it's like a 1/2 inch hole punch. This is the second one I've ordered because the other one, so I don't know. I think it's a 1/2 inch hole punch. And so I get this, and then I use a regular hole puncher. Okay, and these are how I make my floss drops. Now, I know there are fancier floss drops out there that people make, but I like these because I write a lot of stuff on them. And it helps me. Okay? So, for instance, I made, this is, some of the colors. And what I do is we'll just take this tan one. I will, like if they're if on the directions it's separated in bundles, I will actually write the bundle down in the corner. So, I look at the pattern and I look at the symbol. Okay, and I don't want to write the symbols because some of these colors have different symbols. So I look at the symbol and I go back to my instructions, and I find, that symbol, and I see that symbol is in bundle 1. And so when I'm looking for this on my ring, I just go to the bundle 1s, and that helps like having to go through all the different floss. I know this is confusing because I'm sitting here telling you this, and to me, I'm even confused. But I've just kind of learned that this helps me find it when I'm looking for it on the ring, and it helps me find it when I'm looking for it in the pattern. Either way. Okay, so I've written the name of the color, which is written in the instructions. I wrote the number of the pattern, of the color, and then the bundle on these cards. I punched it at the top, I punched it at the bottom, and then I'll use the smaller hole punch to put some holes on the sides for my leftover floss strands. And that's what I love about it, because it's just like, I've got a place for everything, and I write stuff. And, when I'm done with this kit, if I really want to reuse these cards, I can just take my Sharpie and cross that out and write on the other side. No big deal. Okay, so on this pattern, in this chart, I actually have, and I'll go up here, 4 bundles, because that's what was just on the chart. That's what's written in the instructions. But then there's a whole other section for combined colors. Okay, combined threads. So what that is in dimensions kits, in order to give it dimension, some of the stitches use like 1 strand of one color and 1 strand of another color. And then sometimes they have 2 strands of one color and 2 strands of another color. And sometimes they're half stitch, sometimes they're cross stitch, and it can get kind of confusing. And I don't actually pull, those out until it calls for it on the chart. So what I've done is I make these some more cards just for the combined colors. And this is where I like these, because I'm writing a lot of stuff on them. It just helps me. It helps me. I don't know if it would help someone else. But so anyway, I, on the combined color ones, I write, okay, for instance, I write this one. I put a C down in the corner for combined. And then up in this corner, I put the symbol. And then I actually write what it's calling for. 1 strand, and I put like the number of strands in the parentheses. So for instance, this one's calling for 1 strand of dark pink and 1 strand of light mauve. And then under here, I put, is it calling for, does this symbol call for it calls for a full cross. So I put, an X. And that keeps me from just having to keep going back and forth and flipping over and over and over again, because these are hard for me to kind of remember. And like this one is different because, well, let me get another one. Here, I'll get this one. So this one is a combined color, and I will write the C in the bottom for combined color. I write the symbol on the top, and then like this one calls for 2 strands of tan and 2 strands of light gray brown, and this symbol is a half cross. Anyway, and I just do that. This just helps me. I'm not saying this is the way to do it, but I'm saying after starting so many dimensions kits, because I honestly have started so many. Have I completed one yet? Nope. But that's okay. That's okay. It's not a race. And I just enjoy doing this. So this just helps me, and I will just put these aside. And when it calls for when you get to the combined colors, when it calls for when I look on the chart and see that I have to stitch the symbol, then I will just go and I'll find the tan. And that's when I usually have to refer back to, if I was really smart, I'd put like what grouping those colors were. Maybe I'll do that. I have to write it really little, because that would really help me find the color. But I had to find the tan. I usually look back at the instructions of the chart to find, what group it's in, and then find the color. And then I have to find the light green brown, and I just pull out. Sometimes I'll pull out like 6 strands of each color and then hang them on the side. And then I'll just pull like 2 strands out of each one and make like the combined color. And then when I run out of it, then I can go back and make some more and then refill it. So the combined colors are kind of The combined colors are kind of difficult, but you know, just take your time and it's easy once you get it. So anyway, and then I usually have each of the groups and the combined colors on like separate rings. And then I like have them all together on like some sort of big magnet rubber band or something to keep it all together. But that's what I do. So I mean, what do you think? Do you think that's totally confusing? Or this is just, I just thought dimensions kits were so confusing when I first started doing them. And then once I figured out like how to organize them, it just made it easier. It made it easier for me that I wasn't getting so confused. And just to find all the different colors, because a lot of the colors are close. Like it will call for, you know, like in this one, I think there's like a pale gray, light gray, gray, dark gray, and very dark gray. You know, I'm just going to use it as an example. You can have like different shades of like one color, like 5 different ones. So anyway, I love the dimensions kits, especially the gold. I'm going to actually start on this today. And just to say I got a good start. And I will come back and give you an update. But let me know how you organize your dimension gold collection kits if you stitch on these. And if you don't, like, you know, is that one of the things that's kind of been holding you back? I like it because I have everything. I've got the fabric, pattern, floss, everything. And if you go on Amazon, you can find some really good deals. I mean, compared to like, because I've been shopping the past 2 days and I've gone into several Michael's and Joann's, and I mean, compared to like going in there and trying to find one of these kits, I mean, they're like charging, I don't know, $50 something for some of these kits. And I mean, on Amazon, you can find some deals. You can get a lot of them under $30, and some of them for even, I ordered 2, one for $15 and one for $17 just recently. I think that's a great deal considering everything you get. And I have enough floss now in my collection where I feel like if I were to run out of color, there is a conversion somewhere out there where you can find a DMC. It has like a DMC to dimensions conversion for their floss if you run out. But I feel like with the amount of floss that I have in my stash right now, that I should be able to match it close enough to where it's really not going to make that big of a difference. I'm not worrying about it. Is what I'm saying. I'm just not worrying about it. And I've got to find that conversion chart. If anyone knows where I can find that, let me know. But like I said, I haven't finished a kit, so I don't really know whether I'm going to run out of floss or not. And I think that may have been a bigger problem with some of the older kits. But now I have heard that the newer ones put enough in there. But what's your experience on that too? Let me know. All right, y'all, just thought you'd be interested in this. I will talk to you later. Wish me luck. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.